I watched Avatar: The Way of the Water today, went in with zero expectations, I'd only seen the teaser trailer, and honestly, I was curious to see what James Cameron would bring to the table after 13 years since we last visited Pandora. I was 6 years old then. Fucking hell, crazy how time flies. Anyway, I was pleasantly surprised, to say the least. And although the movie was 3 hours long, it did feel significantly shorter. And when it ended, I was actually kind of annoyed. Oh, by the way, did I mention that I saw this film at 7:45 a.m. this morning? Because, my family said that, no one would be on their phones, no annoying people in the cinema talking or whatever. Or just the fact that literally no one would be there because, who the fuck goes to the cinema at 7:45 a.m. Anyway, they were wrong because one fucker was on his phone several times throughout the film. But fortunately, this didn't take away from the experience, because this movie is an outstanding sequel, to say the least. Taking place over a decade since the original, we see that after the Sky People come after Jake and his family, they seek to find a new place to live on a different island so that war is not brought onto their home. Colonel Quaritch, who we presumed was dead, actually isn't, and his memories get implanted into an avatar body which he can then utilize to basically seek out Jake Sully and get his revenge. We are introduced to Jake and Neytiri's children, one of which called Kiri, being adopted from the avatar body of Grace from the first movie. Pretty fucking cool. We spend a lot of time with the second oldest son called Loak, I believe, as he navigates his new life with the Metkayina clan, seeks to exit the shadow of his older brother, and oh, there's a girl. Oh damn, she's kind of bad as well. In fact, there isn't really a main character of the film. We already established the relationship of Jake and Neytiri in the first film, so their children are given a lot of time to shine on their own. They each get enough screen time and development to allow the audience to feel a connection to them and have them be relatable, as well as, it's just a blast to see them in action. The oldest son, Teyam, wasn't explored as much as the rest, and throughout most of the film kind of felt like he was just there so that his younger brother Loak could be like in his shadow, for the plot. But then the third act happened, and I changed my mind. This guy clearly really cared about his family and looked out for his brother, and showed that he was a true fighter. His death at the end definitely brought tears to my eyes, and it really showed the power of family and always sticking by one another's side. After all, Sully stayed together. Look, I'm getting emotional. Colonel Quaritch continued to seriously piss me off throughout the whole thing, as he should, and although he showed moments of vulnerability, especially towards his son Javier, who I imagine in real life had an absolute blast hissing at people in special effects suits on a daily basis. The mission to kill Jake Sully clearly came first, and he was not going to let anything stand in his way. He was the absolute dickhead I so wanted him to be, and seeing him dominate his peers and be the only one to come out alive at the end, while everyone else got arrowed by the badass that is Neytiri, or just fucking squashed by token whales, makes him a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavour. And then at the end, he goes and flies away while he waits for, the next film to happen. Anyway, we meet the Metkayina clan in this film, aka the people of the sea, who are clearly hesitant to let Sully and his family take shelter among them, and due to the Sullys having 5 fingers, obviously because of Jake's human blood, they're viewed as outcasts, and the children are bullied and messed with a lot throughout the film, leading these youngsters to face challenges and events that flesh out their personalities, morals, and combat abilities. I loved that the Sully children were all willing to fight and beat up others for one another, and they always put each other first before themselves when danger arose. Jake had clearly raised them to be warriors, as he knew of the dangers that lay beyond their planet, and we see this reinforced a lot throughout the film when he shows his frustration towards his kids when they're not acting in a way which aligns with what he taught them. Overall, the characters were fantastic, and the story was extremely heartwarming, and left you annoyed at the fact that you'll now have to wait 2 long years and about 50 Marvel projects before you see good CGI again. Anyway, onto the special effects / CGI. Wow. Since Marvel Phase 4 happened, I genuinely forgot that we live in an era where special effects and CGI can actually look good, and I was glad that this film reminded me of the fact. I saw the film in 3D IMAX, which is 100% the way to go with a film of this magnitude, and I genuinely felt like throughout the film I was in this world alongside the characters. They actually had to develop new technology for the underwater scenes to happen, hence why this film, took so long to actually release, and oh boy was it worth the wait. At no point in this film did it feel fake or cartoonish. The underwater scenes were genuinely phenomenal, and seeing all the sea creatures and plants with their bright colours made this film absolutely gorgeous to watch. It honestly made Hawaii look like fucking Blackpool on a rainy day. The characters were all visibly distinguishable too, and the look similarity between Sully and his children, as well as Kiki and her mother Grace, was fucking outstanding. You could also easily tell who all of the bad guys were, like from the first movie, but now in their avatar bodies, which obviously makes the movie much less confusing to follow. Honestly, I have very few problems with this film, apart from the fact that, it had to end. And as far as sequels go, it definitely gives the first film a run for its money. And that's a big compliment, obviously, when you look at how the first one performed. To be fair, I don't expect it to make as much money as the first one, purely because the first one just made so much fucking money. And nowadays, cinemas just aren't as popular as they used to be, with people's attention spans just rapidly declining as other forms of entertainment become more popular. Anyway, if you're watching this video, I assume it's because you likely enjoy going to the cinema and you also enjoyed this movie. I give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. So definitely let me know what your thoughts on this movie were in the comments and how you think it compares to the first. Thank you for watching, and bye.